Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be watching this from. Now, the title for today's topic is Why is it important for the Mason to be in peak physical condition, mental, emotional, and spiritual condition? When one starts to walk the path of self improvement and to know thyself, to think better, know better, do better, there are certain things that you must hold yourself accountable to, and that includes improvement on all levels. Now, oftentimes we see people have that misconception about Freemasonry that if you associate yourself with it, you basically become cursed in terms of your weight, your health, your finances, so many things that people come up with. But at the end of the day, you are in control of a lot of things. It's you cannot let anything out of control. Everything is within your grasp. And I myself tell people that you gotta take responsibility for your health. And there are many who, when they join not just Masonry but any other organization, they just put their full focus on that and they forget about their health. They forget about their finances. They forget about their health, and they just let themselves go with their weight, with other habits and eating and drinking habits. So it's not just with Freemasonry. If any esoteric path that you're walking, any spiritual path that you're walking, I also walk the path of Sufism at the same time. So it's about you honing yourself to be better. A year or two ago, I was in a situation where my waist was 43. I was in a lot of debt. I took responsibility. I looked myself in the mirror. I didn't blame anyone or anything for me getting there. It was me who got myself there. And I said, okay, if I put myself in this hole, then I can get myself out of it. While at the same time, not compromising the path that I'm walking and not pointing fingers at anybody, because ultimately it's you. Anybody says anything to try to get under your skin, how you react will determine if the situation continues to falter or not, and that includes the path of self-improvement. So when you have somebody with a rough ashlar, you keep chipping away at yourself until you become that perfect ashlar body. So it took me a time. It took me a year to get down from 43 to 32. I lost 10 inches off of my waist, and it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't an instant gratification where if I didn't see the result in a month or two, then I would have left it. It takes time. So you got to learn how to be patient with yourself and have better habits. Eat better. I only eat one meal a day, because if you eat one good meal a day, that's pretty much all you need, because the rest of your body is liquid. As long as you're hydrating yourself, drinking green tea in the morning, at night, like how I do right now in the evening, I drink green tea. Then I make sure I eat good meals, some fruits, I walk. And when you physically hone yourself, that actually helps you better on the path of self improvement, because you're honing yourself on the mental plane, spiritual plane, emotional plane. You're taking responsibility for your life, for your family, for your finances. You're not pointing fingers at anybody because you ended up in a certain situation because of him or her or them. It's all you. And that's what a lot of these spiritual paths teach you, that if you want to find God, you have to find God within yourself. If you want to know yourself better, that's ultimately your answers are with you. We have the example of Neo going to the Oracle, and she would not tell him anything. She would always say, what you want, you already know, and you already have the capability to do all that you wish to do. And she would point to the sign in Latin that would say above her door, Know thyself. So, no matter what spiritual path you walk, you might take A road, B road, C road, D road. Ultimately, the enlightenment is still leading you to the same mountaintop. So, you find what works best for you, but at the same time, there's a balance. You have to realize that extremity of any side does not benefit you. If you walk a certain path, don't go extreme on it. Have a balance in your life. And all spiritual paths teach you how to balance your time also. So you have the aspect of balancing time where, okay, certain part of the day I have to honor my job, I have to be with my family, then at least an hour a day, instead of scrolling on the phone or being sucked into watching anything or playing video games. Have a discipline, because there are people who have discipline and there's those that don't. So have that hour where you hone on when you hone yourself, you work on yourself, you exercise, you meditate, do something that helps you feel better in a system that's not designed to give you a break. We have a system where it's one bill after the other, one thing after the other. Even supposedly you might have a paid off house, but if you don't pay your taxes to the local government, they'll come put a lien on it and kick you out the next day. So it's same thing with jobs. People are killing themselves over a lot of these jobs, and at the end, if anything happens, people might cry for you a day, 2 days, 3 days, but the world keeps turning. That's what I told one of my friends recently, because eventually after high school, life takes you to different paths. Everyone has their own destiny. We all become adults. We can't give that kind of time to each other that we could before. And that's what I told him the other day that I saw him. You don't have to wait for me, or you don't have to wait for anybody. You continue being a trailblazer. Any opportunity you get to become better, think better, know better, and improve your life in whatever condition that it's in, you just go. Don't think about it. There were times when I had to travel overseas to places that I'd never been to before. It just came in my heart like this. I got the ticket, went to the airport, got on the plane, and I was there. No need to overthink, or what's going to happen, or what's this or what's that, because experience is the best teacher. And we have this aspect on the path of self-improvement, or any path that you follow, masonry being one of them, where you cannot let fear, doubt, suspicion, hatred of others, bigotry, anything of the lower nature consume you in any way. And continue to work on yourself, so you are an example to others, so when they look at you, they're impressed. It's not about you wearing an emblem or saying good things. It's about your actions and how you carry yourself. You have to lead by example. So when they look at you, they want to know who you are. They want to exemplify you, and honor your character and model your character after them. So that's how it should be. We must be willing to practice what we preach, and say that, okay, gotta get myself in shape. I gotta handle my debts. I gotta handle my issues. I gotta balance my life properly. I gotta give proper time to my relations. And then you will ultimately start improving the condition of your life when you improve your thinking, and you improve the aspect of how you view your life and the frequency associated with it. Because the internal frequency of your temple, when that is pure and that is like grounded and balanced, then that's the reality you will project out into the outer world. Like what Omar Khayyam says in a lot of his poems, that I myself am heaven and hell. Because it's you. You create that reality. That's why the grand architect of the universe, in these volumes of the sacred laws, such as the Bible and the Quran, it'll tell you in the Bible, kingdom of heaven is within. Tell you in the Holy Quran that we are closer to man than his jugular vein. So you're looking for God and answers here, there, over there. But what you already have is already within you. You just got to know how to look in and find it, right? It's like you have a bird. You have the flocks of birds that when it's time for them to migrate from the south, it just happens automatically. They don't ask anybody, or they don't consult with anybody. It's just something that's already within them. They know when to move at a certain time. So that's the same thing with you. Exercise, get better sleep, drink better, avoid alcohol, avoid anything that imparts your judgment or damages you in any way. Eat right, sleep right, drink right, get exercise, and be that aspect of the physical temple and the ashlar of you honoring yourself. And including your conduct, respect yourself, respect others, respect each other, no matter what your race, religion, background. If you're representing a certain organization, know that your actions not only define you, you're representing everybody. And that's a video I made about 6 months ago, which touches on this online etiquette for the Mason. So you have to love and respect everybody. Think before you say anything to anybody. Think before you post anything on social media, even though it's your personal page. But think about the characters that you're associating with, and you yourself representing anything on an international level. So always think, always analyze your day. Could I have said something better? Could I have did something better? Could I have done something better? Could I have said something better to him or her, or could any of my actions would have helped me? Because none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect either, but I take responsibility for my faults, and I continue to improve upon them until I become the perfect ashlar. Because Almighty God, or the Grand Architect, created us in His image and likeness, and God is perfect. It's man that has the issues. It's man, and all the religions, I've done all the videos on them, they're all teaching you the same exact thing. It's man that creates the division. It's man that says him, me, them, or us. It's none of that like that. If you read a lot of these sacred books, God always refers to Himself as we, not I, me, or my. We, because it's you and I. We're all in collective experiencing this reality together, and this illusion until we find our way back home. And that's why I tell all of you: just do not lose focus. Do not lose focus. This life is too short. This life is too short. Don't hurt anybody. If you feel you hurt anybody, please ask for their forgiveness. Even if they don't respond to you, or if they don't acknowledge you, but the universe and God has witnessed you admitting that, okay, if there was any shortcomings that I had, I admit it and I apologize to you. So that is taken into account on your scales. So always make sure that you do the right thing. Be better, know better, think better. Focus on your health. Don't let your dedication to any organization or anything take away so much from you that you start to neglect your family, your finances, your health. Because ultimately, that journey is you. That journey is you. You could serve anyone or anything for countless years. You can make one mistake and they'll forget all the good that you did. But the knowledge that you inherit and the good that you did for yourself and all the things that you earned, no one can take that away from you. Because man is there to disappoint. Man is imperfect, right? Even though we're created in the image of the Creator. But we have done that to ourselves in our fallen state. So you must be the example to continue to hone yourself and be better, know better, think better. Be the example, or what they call in a lot of families, that he or she is the black sheep of the family. So take that aspect, look at the things that, what patterns in my family have affected my family or affected me personally. How can I improve them and make sure that I don't experience that, my children don't experience that, and I can leave a better world behind. We inherit our world, my brothers and sisters, from those that have fought for it, that have bled for it, cried for it, and some of the luxuries we have enjoyed today, and some of our ancestors did not have that. So we must continue to build upon that foundation, not ruin it. For a lot of these young kids today that are growing up hopeless, people are afraid to commit to relationships. They're afraid to surrender their ego. They're afraid to surrender to each other. So what kind of world are we leaving behind? We might have all this technology and all this stuff, but ultimately we're still very backwards. We're still fighting with each other about whose race and religion is correct, playing crayon games about whose color is superior, not knowing we are all one religion. Everyone has this truth is fragmented into these different groups telling you the same story, and we're all one human race, right? So we need to get back on that level, and to find that balance within ourselves, find that peace within ourselves. And when people in this world become better, that's when ultimately everything gets better. So the aspect of good men becoming better, what Masonry teaches you, or a lot of these other spiritual paths teach you, is you must work on yourself on a continuous level. Every day you should be learning something new, improving on a flaw, saying something better, doing something better, going out exercising for like a half hour, and then when you get better and your stamina gets better, then you increase it to an hour, then hour and a half. You just get better and better. And that's ultimately, don't beat yourself up if you can't do something right away. Just first admit, okay, I have to do something. I have to not run away from my problems, and I have to face my fears. And that's exactly what it is. You have to face your fears. Bruce Wayne could not become the Batman unless he went into the caves and confronted the bats, what he feared. So unless you do not confront your fears, you will not get better. And you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, is there somebody I need to apologize to? Is there a debt that I need to call up this company and make a payment plan and get it sorted out? Because the more I run away from them, the worse it's going to get. Eventually you'll have a lien against you. You'll end up in court. It'll affect your family. So you gotta face your problems. And look at it this way. Your health is your wealth also. So also realize that, am I taking care of myself? Am I avoiding alcohol? Am I drinking enough water? Am I exercising? Am I sustaining myself long enough so I can continue to be around, to be there for my family, for my children and their children? So we forget about all this. We're killing ourselves over a system that's not designed to give you a break. A thankless system where you say no once, they'll forget everything you did. So take some time to heal yourself. You are needed. If your eyes opened up today, then you are needed. You are loved. You were sent here for a purpose, not just to be a number in the system who came to pay taxes and pay bills. You were here to touch people's hearts. And that's why we're always at the right place at the right time, and we're always telling people at the right time what they need to hear, or those that see our light, they come to us and they cry to us and they need someone to speak to. I've been in all those situations. I think that's my purpose. That's why I'm here, to teach and guide humanity. Everything else, it's there, but I think that's what I came here to do, and that will be my wealth. Not about my degrees, titles, egos. It's what good did I do for myself and others. And ultimately, that's how it is. Don't feel resentment for anybody. Wish well for everyone, because this world is a guest house. This world is a guest house, and everyone has their own time and place where they're needed. And that's a concept they have in the West, is when they're not dealing with somebody, they cut them off and don't give them any respect no more. And ultimately, the grand architect of the universe loves us all equally. We all have equal value. So who are we, a creature already with our own flaws, to dismiss anybody else? Who knows, their presence and light might be required elsewhere. Yours might be required elsewhere. Wish well for everybody. Do not look down upon anyone. On the level, right? No one's above you or beneath you. And be humble, respect everybody, and know that that journey of self-improvement is on a spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, financial, everything in your life. The more you get better, you are basically honoring the path, which is ultimately telling you to honor yourself. And when you know thyself, you honor yourself, you're honoring your God and knowing your God. So ultimately, it's you. You are the physical temple and the avatar manifested here. You must find the journey into your heart and take time to take responsibility if there's any way you've neglected yourself, and not to put blame on anybody, and to eliminate the conceptions where people tell you that if you join this you'll be cursed, or if you do this you'll be cursed. It's all here. It's all here. You got to flip it on them, and you got to be better, and you got to know better and know your convictions. Give yourself affirmations every day. I know who I am, what I stand for, and what I need to do. Because ultimately there is a fight between light and dark, and those of the dark will try to get under your skin, try to get you back into bad habits, or make you lose your focus with your weight, finances, everything else. But as long as you know who you are and what you stand for, you have an unshakable foundation that no one can harm you. And I am a living testimony in front of you. If I could survive all that I did, and I'm continuing to prosper and teach and guide humanity, then you have the same ability. I am not better than you. We are all here owing this love and light to each other, and we're all here walking each other home. We must continue to take responsibility and know that if my eyes don't open up tomorrow, then I left a good message for you guys. And to know that you have the aspect of doing better. So tomorrow, pick up the phone, call somebody you've been estranged from. Make that effort. Do like a few push-ups if you can't do 100. Walk like half a mile if you can't walk a mile, and then get better. Next day, try to do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And when you put that intention, you will become better in all that you do. In your health, in your thinking, in your knowing, in your doing, in your conduct with yourself and each other. That's exactly what it is. It's not about ego games or politics or titles. Those people who get caught up in that, they lost the plot. Even though, like in this world, they might be associated by being enlightened, but they're nobody. At the end, when you go in that grave, we all become skeletons like everybody else. It's not about having a number next to your name or any acronyms or titles or being in a better zip code. None of that means anything. Some of the most powerful spiritual masters I know live in neighborhoods that are run down. Why? Because they're needed there to uplift the vibration of the area and to heal a lot of those broken souls that come to them for aid and assistance. Because they're the ones who are going to get it. Continue walking your path with hope, with unity, with faith, hope, charity, knowing that you are never alone in this journey. We are always surrounded by those that love us throughout all of our good and bad times of our life. Ever since I was a child, I knew I was never alone. I was sent by the higher powers here to do what I needed to do, and I'm continuing to do it, and I will do it until it's time for my physical avatar to retire and for me, my energy to go back. Like how the Sufi says, to Allah we belong and to Him we shall return when one makes his or her transition, because energy always exists. I might come back in some other form, or I might ascend to a higher realm, depending on my favor with the divine. So ultimately, you got to work on yourself. Work on yourself and just live a good, clean life and honor those around you. Honor yourself, and you shall have no grief or any kind of pain from here till the time of judgment. So thank you, and my love to all of you and your families, and I hope you were able to get something from this. Uncle Sal loves you all. Life is beautiful.